I am an absolute fan of audiobooks. Books that you can listen while you undergo, while you're doing laundry, while you're packing your bags to travel, while you're traveling, anywhere. And this is pretty cool. Today I want to share with you the 5 best audiobooks for traders, books that you're going to be able to listen wherever you are, anytime. And that's going to save you a lot of time because I myself don't necessarily have time to focus and read a book. I would much rather kind of listen to an audiobook and beginning the lessons of people, the stories of traders, and improving my trading at the same time. What's up traders, welcome back to Bangkok in Thailand. Today, as I said, I want to share with you the 5 best trading audiobooks. I have a 6th one, which is a bonus that I've been listening to. And by the way, all these books, I listen to them myself, so I all know the whole story behind them. But I highly recommend that you listen to them or that you read them if you don't like audiobooks. That's fine, but I think they are really good audiobooks. And the first thing I want to make clear is that in this list, there won't be any books about setup or strategies, because I think this is really hard to learn strategies or setups in an audiobook. Like you would be much better reading this and seeing the charts, the graph on a paper, as opposed to listening to the audio and trying to remember all the setup or trying to kind of put the mental image of the setup in your head. That's really hard. So those books are more about stories, but they have a lot of lessons that you can learn, and they're going to be as good or much better than the books about setup and strategies. So they are in no particular order, and I've got 5 plus 1. So the first one is a book called Street Smart by Jim Rogers. So I've interviewed Jim Rogers here on the channel before. Just before I interviewed him, I was listening to his audiobook on Audible called Street Smart. And I'll have a link below to all these books, of course, in the description. But Street Smart is a book that talks about investing and traveling, which is really awesome. So Jim is more like an investor long term, but his advice applies a lot to trading. Or if you want to build like a great life, a great empire, his advice of traveling and seeing different countries and stuff are really useful. And that's really good if you're an aspiring traveling trader, or if you're like me already traveling. I really got a lot of advice from this book, and I highly recommend that book from Jim Rogers called Street Smart. His second book is, of course, none less than Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. It's a book that I never read like on paper. I was listening to the audiobooks because all the knowledge you get in that book is easy to listen to. And I personally learned a lot when I listened to something. So that was a good audiobook to listen to anytime. And I remember listening to this the first time when I was in China traveling, and I kind of tried to listen to this. Then I listened to it again when I was in Canada. Okay, every morning like 6 a.m. I would wake up, do jogging, listen to this at the same time on audio. That was awesome. And I think it's a book that you're able to get a lot of knowledge. And it can even change your perspective when you listen to it instead of reading it. So that's a good favorite for me, and I really like. And so I would recommend if you want to check out that audiobook, Trading in the Zone. If you read it on paper, even you can listen to it again. That's a good way to kind of review your book. Once you read a book once, you can listen to it after that, and that's a good way to kind of complement with the different format of books. The third one is a book called The Daily Trading Coach by Brett Steenbarger. It's a book that is really, really dense, and I've shared this before. So like it's a huge book on paper. On audio, it's like really huge. I think it's like super long. Okay, it's like 14 hours and 21 minutes. I just checked it out on my Audible account. So, but that's really good. It's 101 lessons to become your own trading psychologist. So if you want to be able to master your mindset and become a better trader in all aspects, and everything goes beyond the mindset, it goes into like metrics, strategies, all these things that you can improve. And if you want to be able to improve them, that's a really in-depth book. I would recommend you to do this as a course. Maybe like go through one lesson each week, apply it. That's going to take you like 2 years to be able to go through the whole book. Or maybe like if you're able to do it faster, then maybe 2 lessons a week, that could be good. But even then you gotta be willing to put in the work and apply the lessons in that book. If you do this, I'll guarantee you'll be successful, because there's no way you can improve and move forward. So that's a huge book if you want to be able to improve your trading quite fast, okay, with these like really actionable and tactical tips. So that's book number 3. Book number 4 is Trading Beyond the Matrix by Van Tarp. Van Tarp, whom I also interviewed in the podcast. So he's a really good trader and a really good coach as well. This book is also long, also big, but it's a book that will change your perspective too about trading and focuses on aspects that we don't necessarily think about. a little bit about like spirituality in that book, a lot about psychology, and it has a lot of good stories of traders and peak performers that you can learn from. So that's like 12 hours long, but still really good to listen to. And you'll see that Van Tarp is like really good at like finding these tips and these pieces of advice that other traders have and that you can use yourself. And so I would really recommend that book. It's a longer read, of course, but it's totally worth it. And you might not understand everything the first time you read it, so it's really recommended that you read this like 2 or 3 times. And that's the fourth book. The fifth book is Market Wizard by Jack Schwager. It's a common book that most people probably read before if you've been trading for some time. If not, I highly recommend you read it. The Market Wizard is showing like stories and anecdotes from traders all around the world that are really successful in their fields. So that book is good if you want to be able to learn the stories, and especially audiobook, because like you don't want to read necessarily this and spend time reading it. But audiobook, it's really good to kind of be anywhere you want, and then you listen to these stories, you internalize them better, I feel, when you listen to them, as opposed to reading them. So I really liked listening to that book when I was on the go in Canada. I remember listening to this in Hong Kong at some point, and that's a really good book. So highly recommend, even if you hate audiobooks, read it. This is totally worth it, of course. And the sixth or bonus book on my list is Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. This is a book by Edwin Lefebvre, and it's talking about the story of Jesse Livermore. So a really popular trader who's been trading in the pits a long time ago. But it's going to share, it's like more old style, but it's going to share his stories and things he came across and stuff. And you're going to be able to learn from the old style, but a lot of it can be applied to now, these days, and into what you do on a daily basis. Like the struggles, the lessons, they all apply at the same time. So they have a abridged version on Audible. I don't recommend that. I read that one first. They should have the complete version, so I read that one after. And this one is much better. Okay, so that's also good because it's a story, so you can listen to it anywhere you are. And it's quite easy to understand anyway. So highly recommend that book. And one that I just saw on my list, which I want to add here, is going to be +2. Okay, we have 2 bonuses. This one is One Good Trade by Mike De La Fiore. So it's a book that I love and that I listened to many times in the past. You want to maybe listen to this, it's easier. It's a story and like anecdotes and everything around the firm S&P Capital, the prop firm, so you can learn how these like top traders in the firm perform, how they do things. So that's really good to listen to. This is actually also a long book. I thought it was short. It's a long book. It's 15 hours, but for me it went like super fast because it's like really good lessons, and it's really awesome. It's really an awesome book. So I really recommend that one. And there are a few more on my list. If you guys want to kind of hear them, which one I've read in the past, I still recommend them. I just want to make the list not too long and not with like 2,000 different books. But I would encourage you, if you want to know the whole list, comment below the video. I'll try to come up with some more titles that you can listen to. If you've listened to any of those books, or even read them in paper format, comment below. I want to hear your thoughts as always. Here are a few comments from the past video. I appreciate you guys for your comments as always. Subscribe if it's not done yet, and check out the link below for all these books, plus a free trial of Audible. Okay, it's worth it. You get a free book or 2, and that's really worth it. And I'll catch you back here in the next video. Ciao.